There aren't many chances to hear the success stories and the know-how of Atomy leaders, so today, we've invited them to share their lives and stories, and how they are connected to Atomy. I'm eager to hear their various stories. When we asked Imperial Master Bo Oak Park, who would you like to appear with, she recommended Royal Master Gumi Jin right away. What's the relationship between the two of you?
In business, she's far above me as my senior. I started later than her. But I really like how she treats me like a friend and older sister without formality.
Royal Master Gumi Jin, what do you think?
As she just said, we're so close that we smile when we see each other. We also met in private when Imperial Master Dongchul Park was alive. Back then, I called her sponsor. But lately, I've been really amazed. Because every time I talk to her on the phone, I feel like I'm talking to Imperial Master Dongchul Park. Their way of speaking and actions are so similar. I used to see her just appear, but now I realize just how amazing and great she is. I think I know why Imperial Master Dongchul Park passed it down to his daughter.
If I were an Atomy member, what I'd be most curious about would probably be inheritance. Inheriting it for 3 generations is a big advantage of Atomy. We have a witness here. Everyone, this is not a lie. We have a living witness here. I'd like to ask Imperial Master Bo Oak Park directly about inheritance. What kind of system is it, and how do you understand it?
Many people who are new to Atomy don't believe you can actually just inherit it. But it's true. Atomy really does allow for inheritance, but this is actually how I see inheritance. By giving me his inheritance, my dad's Atomy journey ends. But for me, as the second generation, this code marks the beginning of Atomy again. That's actually what I think. As I continue the Atomy business, I build relationships with my father's partners and my own partners. You've got the money and the people to pass down everything. That's what Atomy inheritance is all about.
What if I were to leave this world now? What can I do? I could leave something to my children. It feels very reassuring.
Of course, inheriting an Atomy code can help a lot financially, but what I envied more was the passion in their hearts. I envied the mindset that they could do anything. The best gift a mother can give is not money, but her heart and passion. I want to hear about Imperial Master Dongchul Park. Could we hear directly from his daughter about what he was like when he was alive?
My dad only went on vacation once while doing Atomy. It was when my younger brother's son was born, after the first birthday, just that once. And there wasn't any other time else. I think it was the first and last trip my family took together while he was doing Atomy. My father's birthday is the same as mine, so when I suggested a birthday party, my dad used to say, "I have plans," and he left. Then he would go out with his partners and have his birthday party. Goodness. These days, social media is so well developed, so pictures like that get posted. Yes, they get posted. Back then, I was like, what? I felt a little betrayed. He could have had a party with his partners first and spent his actual birthday with family. So I wondered, why did the partners insist on celebrating on the day itself? That's what I thought.
Oh, I apologize.
Oh, one of his partners is here.
Yes,
have you ever
right
celebrated
here.
his birthday together?
Yes.
She celebrates every year.
She says she felt sad.
I really had no idea that was a situation. When I heard her story, I thought, oh, she must have felt really sad.
He didn't even go on vacation with us. He even went on vacation with his partners.
He should treat her well.
Yes,
You should treat her well.
exactly.
And there's another story. My house was broken into. When I got home, the front door was wide open like this. The door was wide open. They must have stolen all the jewelry and valuables in the house. So I called my dad. "Dad, a thief broke into the house. You need to come quickly." My dad said okay and hung up, but he didn't come. When I asked him why he didn't come home quickly, guess what he said? He said, the thief has already broke in. There's nothing I could solve by coming early or late. When I asked Dad, what were you doing at that time? He said he was meeting a partner at the time, so he couldn't come home early. And that's the reason why.
Didn't you feel disappointed?
I really fought with my dad all the time because I was so against it. My dad told me to leave the house, so I got 800,000 won from my dad for moving expenses and I left. Then I said something to my dad. If you're going to die and leave me with debt, don't contact me even after you die. That's how I left. And then for 6 years, I blocked his calls on my phone and didn't even text him.
You didn't contact him even once for 6 years?
That's right.
You didn't contact him for 6 years. How did you get back in touch?
The cell phone store I was running was a very spacious store with glass windows, but then a car I hadn't seen before pulled up in front of our store. A silver car pulled in. I thought, whose car is that? And looked. A man got out. I thought he looks familiar, and then I saw it was my dad. Look, I succeeded, even though you were against it. It was like he was showing me that.
As we talked about Imperial Master Dongchul Park, Royal Master Gumi Jin almost shed tears. Royal Master Gumi Jin, I'd like to hear what kind of person Imperial Master Dongchul Park was to you.
Imperial Master Dongchul Park was truly respected not just by me, but by, many people. I think everyone felt that he was truly a supportive partner, sponsor. I think everyone thought so. When I was really struggling and feeling lost, he truly became my reliable supporter in this. He also gave me direction and acted as a mentor, so I'm truly grateful. And also, he was our sponsor who was simply always there. He used to say something like this: if you become a royal master, crown master, or imperial master, I will hug you on stage, shake your hand, and congratulate you. Thought he'd always be there. But then one day, when I heard that Imperial Master Dongchul Park had passed away, I heard it at a seminar at the time.
It was a one-day seminar.
At a one-day seminar, I just collapsed to the ground and cried. That heavy, empty feeling was just, honestly, it was indescribable. I don't think I can describe it.
Until the day my father died, he only thought of a Tommy. To what extent? He told me, well, okay, don't even put me in a columbarium. And when I asked why not? He said he was worried that Atami members would waste their time visiting the columbarium instead of working on their business. He was worried they'd waste that time. So he said not to put me in a columbarium. So in the end, he's not in a columbarium.
The thing he did at the end made me think he was a really good man. It made me feel it again. Since we're talking like this, to change the mood a bit, I'd like to ask Imperial Master Bo Oak Park. You were strongly against your father's business. How did you end up starting Atomy?
I first went to my dad's Royal Master promotion ceremony. It was shortly after I had started Matami, and then on Tuesdays, we receive our commissions. At that time, I probably got 70,000 won because I hadn't been doing it long, but that's when I realized something. I joined the system and then money started coming in? Then how much do the Imperial Masters who are here with me get? I want that title to be mine. I think that's what I thought. And then I thought about the phone store I ran before. How long can I really keep doing this? When I'm 50 or 60, will young people come to buy phones at an old lady's shop? Or what? I wouldn't either. I think that's what I thought. So then I heard the chairman's lecture where he said a truly rich person doesn't work all their life. Because of that lecture, it really gave me time to just reflect. I thought perhaps the chairman's words could be the path to becoming truly and truly wealthy.
That's when you had your realization.
Yeah.
Royal Master Gumi Jin, how did you start Atomy?
I think everyone has their own timing. I wanted to live happily with my family and have a little more financial freedom, so I tried real estate investment, but it didn't work out. I ended up with 400 million won in debt.
400 million won?
Yes, 400 million won. What truly broke my heart was, what if this debt becomes a problem for my children? My children were growing up too. As a parent, I really wanted to do everything, and I mean absolutely everything for them, so I thought, I have to do something. But when I thought about it, there was nothing I could do. I used to be an essay writing teacher, but there was nothing else that I could possibly do. I couldn't even run my own business in that situation. By chance, I encountered Hemohim. I found a Tommy, and the chairman's lecture was incredible. He tells us to have all the hope when there is no hope. When I heard that, we were truly in despair, but I thought, yes, maybe there really is hope. And then I encountered a Tommy. I thought if I could earn 500,000 or 1 million won more now, I could at least pay off my debt someday. So I gained courage and started a Tommy.
I think there are many people in the same situation right now.
Yeah.
Many people are struggling financially with their beloved families beside them, or perhaps they're buried by debt and are worried. I don't think many people can truly take on a new challenge to break free from that struggle, because there's fear. But you overcame that fear and moved up, reaching the position of success. If your dad had seen that, he would have thought it was amazing. The things you're continuing now must come from your love for your family. That's what I think again. In your original job, your children were too young. I'm curious how you overcame the anxiety of, if I do Atomy full-time, will I succeed?
At that time, I felt a Tommy was actually my only answer. I was anxious and scared, but as I attended the system meetings, at some point, I saw a path. And I thought, this is what will happen to me in a year or two. And as I kept listening, understanding, and doing it, at some point, I saw myself growing. At that time, I told my husband, in a year, I'll be an auto sales master earning over 2 million won a month. Please invest your overdraft account in me.
You asked him to trust you?
Yes, to trust me. When I told my husband that, he must have thought I looked too desperate. He said my eyes were sparkling. So he thought, she's working so hard for her family. So my husband agreed. And with that money, I paid interest and bought products. And then, later on, he saw my income truly growing. That's when my husband started to support and cheer me on even more. And one more thing, where else could I work at my age and in this condition? When I think about that, I feel so grateful. And the system income also gives you free time. And when I went on a cruise ship, I thought about that. Not just anyone can go on a cruise, even if they have money, because you need time. You can only go if you have system income. And I often think about that and feel, I am truly grateful, Tommy.
At the last Make Imperial show, episode 2, We talked a lot about how to become a self-driven leader. I'm curious what you think a self-driven leader is.
When I started at Tommy, I didn't have a sponsor because I was my dad's sponsor. I don't think I had anyone I could rely on at all. No choice but
No
to
choice but
be
to
a
be a leader.
leader. That was my situation. In Korea, the tickets for the Success Seminar and One Day Seminar are distributed only to Star Master level leaders, right? So I told my dad about it, and my dad said, "Hey, you're my sponsor. Where would I get tickets to give you?" That's what he said. I thought, then what should I do? My partners want to go, but what can I do for them? I want them to have seats even if I can't sit. So until I become a Star Master, do I have to attend seminars without a single ticket? So I thought, I've got my own back.
Oh, everyone, make sure to write this down. I've got my own back. I'll protect my partners.
Yes, if one ticket came out each month, I would collect them for 6 months. So I got 6 tickets after 6 months. And every 6 months, I went to the Success Seminar in person.
Oh, I can feel how desperate you were.
That's why I became a staff member.
I see.
Yeah.
Helping at the event gets you more tickets.
Around when COVID was ending, I got a call from my dad. He said, "It's amazing." I said, "What?" Then he said, "Sweetie, I'm sure HQ knows how hard you're working. Why? They want you to be staff." "What? They want you to be staff? They want me to be staff? What do I get if I become a staff?" "They'll give you 1 or 2 seminar tickets." At that time, I was so desperate for those 1 or 2 tickets. That's why I became a staff member.
Royal Master Gumi Jin, I heard you've made many efforts to become a self-driven leader. What did you do?
Well, Tommy doesn't advertise, right? So I have to be the model myself, right? That's why I became a living example of the product. I took care of my skin using Atomy Cosmetics, so that when people around me saw me, they say, "Oh, your skin looks so much better. You look prettier." Then it naturally becomes an advertisement for Atomy Cosmetics. As a leader, I needed to control my mindset, so I listened to lectures by Dr. Seong Yun Lee, or lectures by successful people, and of course I listened to chairman's lectures. Not just Atomy, but I listened to lectures by people who succeeded elsewhere and controlled my mind. And if there's something good, I share it with my partners or quote it in my lectures. So my appearance changed, and my mindset and thoughts changed. And that's how I gradually became a self-driven
You shared
leader.
something very important. To become a leader, you need to manage your partners, right? So I'm curious how you manage your partners.
I think not managing is a kind
Could
of
you explain in
management.
detail what that means?
Without me, my group can't succeed. Many people start their business with that mindset. But the more you do business, the more you need to have the mindset of it's okay without me, so that your partners can grow.
Oh.
Yes.
I think that's a really important part.
That's why Atomi's lineage is easiest to understand as a parent-child relationship. My partners are my children, and my sponsor is my parent. In the beginning, we depend on our sponsors to do the business, right? Just like when we're born, our parents, sponsors, take care of us. And we follow in our sponsor or parents' footsteps. We become like them. And as I grow to a certain extent, then I no longer need my caregiver. Likewise, you don't need a sponsor. Those moments come. If I tell my child, "You always have to get permission from mom for this," I think that'll take away their independence.
So you've told us how to raise
yeah.
self-driven leaders. Royal
Yes.
Master Gumi Jin, are there things you think are essential for partner management?
You usually start as an auto sales master and grow step by step into the Leaders Club. It's about growing one step at a time, but it's vague. In small ways, achieving small goals one by one is actually the way to go. It's fun in that regard. I think it's important to set really small goals and then draw a big picture for them. I think that's important. Then it's enjoyable, actually.
I think that's an important part. Do you still write your life scenario?
Yes, the life scenario is in a notebook. I have around 7 or 8 notebooks. With that, what I'm so grateful for is that I didn't know until a certain point that I achieved so much. But actually, by looking at my old notebooks, I realized I'd grown so much. And I thought I've really achieved a lot. I think that's why I was even more touched and grateful.
While writing a life scenario, many people might think, will this come true? I'm curious about the mindset you used to write your life scenario.
I wrote down 100 life scenarios.
100 scenarios?
Yeah, even writing 8 at first was really hard, but 100 took about a month. When I wrote 8, I kept thinking, will this happen in my life? Because you have to write things that aren't visible first. But after untangling it and writing 100, there were things like things I could do right away if I set my mind to it but wasn't doing. For example, a 2-night trip to Gangwon-do with my kids this summer is something I can do if I just make time. It doesn't even require that much money, but I wasn't going because I was doing a Tommy. So I just wrote down all those things. Everything I can do if I just put my mind to it right now. It all fits within 100.
I see.
Yeah, and I put it on the fridge. My daughter and son would say, "Mom, what is this?" Yeah, this is what I want to do. And when they saw that, they felt, our mom can actually do it. So, life scenario is not just my own, but it can really become our family's life scenario. That's what I thought when I wrote down 100 things.
Now that I've heard it, I think that is true inheritance. They say not to give fish, but to teach how to catch them. I think this story fits that perfectly. You just talked about your children for a moment. Could you tell me a little bit about these 2 children?
My son didn't have any thoughts. Even up to his first year of high school, he really just went to school without thinking. One day, he brought his friends home. Seeing the Atami products in the house, they said, "Huh? You use Atami too?" It turned out that my friend's mom was doing Atami. My son said, "My grandpa does Atami and my mom does Atami." His friend was like, "What's your mom's rank?"
Grandpa's an Imperial master.
But my son had no idea.
He had no idea?
I didn't know about that, but my grandpa's the Atami boss.
Oh.
That's what he said. His friend looked up my dad on YouTube and showed it to my son. "Hey, is that your grandpa?" So my son was like, "Why is my grandpa on YouTube?" "Hey, your grandpa is very famous." And then my mom said, Tommy can be inherited, right? And my son called me, "Mom, how much does grandpa actually make?" It was way before COVID. I said, "I don't know, maybe 60 or 70 million won." And then he said to me, "Mom, not per year. Tell me how much he earns per month." So I said, "That's his monthly income."
Which is hard to believe.
At that time, I was managing my dad's bank account, so I showed it to my son. It's true. My son said he couldn't sleep that night.
Wow.
I asked him, "Why couldn't you sleep?" "What? This can be inherited? Then I'll definitely get one." That's what my son thought. He hadn't studied up through his first year of high school, but in his second year of high school, he suddenly started studying.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Seriously?
He thought if mom inherits a code, then that money will come to me. But if I don't study and end up not being smart, I might lose the money I'm supposed to receive. That's why he studied.
He's getting ready, preparing.
Why do entrance and graduation ceremonies often fall on seminar days? That day was also our Atami seminar, and my son called me on his entrance ceremony day. Mom, I got at the top of my class, he said. Thanks to that studying.
That's
Yes.
amazing.
My daughter is a baker. In middle school, she asked me to send her to baking class. I wasn't doing a Tommy at the time. I asked, how much? She said it was 500,000 won. What I said was, hey, you're a student, just study. Why are you talking about
Normally,
baking
mothers
bread?
would
That's
say
what I
this.
said. My daughter really wanted to go and learn. At that time, when we went to my father's house, there were photos of the kids he sponsored through Compassion. As far as I know, there were about 60 of them. My daughter said, Grandpa, you give money to kids you don't even know, but Mom won't let me go to Baking Academy. It's not fair. Grandpa, please invest 500,000 won every month. That's how it happened. So she
Wow.
was able to attend baking classes. So she even majored in that in university. Last February, there was an international competition in Germany. She won first place in sugar crafting.
The changes Atomy brought are immense.
That's right. Even my kids wonder if they could have achieved all this if Grandpa hadn't done a Tommy, you know?
Royal Master Gumijin, you have children too. How are they?
At first, when I started my Atami business, my children were young. They were in first and second grade, so they were young, but I was in debt. There were so many things I wanted to do for them, but I couldn't. When I thought of my children, I felt very sorry. I always thought I'll make it up to my kids. I've always worked with that thought in mind. My second daughter was asked at school who she actually respects, and she said, my mom, and I happened to see it. It was very touching.
You must have felt like you had the whole world.
That's what parents want most. To be truly respected by my children, dreaming that they will be a role model. Early next year, my two daughters, who are a year apart, are going to Australia for a language study. I'm going to send them together. Being able to do those things for them really wouldn't have been possible if I hadn't met a Tommy.
Now, hearing these stories, many people want to be the kind of parents you two are. And now, we're talking about inheritance for children. Maybe even to the second generation and the third as well. Recently, many young distributors are increasing in Atomy. I think distributors who have just entered society might find Atomy difficult. Do you have any advice for them?
Starting a Tommy right away without any prior work experience seems incredibly difficult. A Tommy might seem very easy in one way, but in another sense, it's very difficult. Young people struggle because they expect big money, but realize this isn't a 1 month business. It's not like that at all. Their expectations are too high, which makes it harder. So, for those of you who are starting now, put those expectations aside for later. We must work hard in 2025 to change 2026. And if we work hard in 2025 and 2026, 2027 will change. I think you should start with that mindset. So, truly in your heart, you should think, even if I fall 7 times, I'll get up 8 times. I think you need that mindset. If you just started a Tommy looking for money and quit shortly after, people will think, I knew you'd do that. I think if Atomians have persistence and truly believe they can do it, and they hold on to that belief and see it through to the end, then the phrase, I knew you do that, will turn into, I knew you succeed. It depends on how I do it, not on how other people see me. So, Atomians, let's work harder while writing our life scenarios. Work hard in 2025 and imagine a slightly different 26.
In fact, a lot of people in their 20s and 30s are joining now. I think it's a very positive trend. They are future and Tommy's future, aren't they? But when we invite them to join us, those young leaders hold on for a bit, and then at some point, they just go home. That is unfortunate to see. So I wondered why that is. Since sponsors and partners are from older generations, young people often see them as their parents' age. It's hard to communicate. That's why, 4 years ago, I started something where all the young leaders gather once a month. All the young leaders under me get together once a month. I just buy them a meal. And young leaders gather and talk about their experiences and things. And while catching up and eating, I share my experiences with them. Doing this steadily every month makes them realize that not only I, but other young leaders are doing the business, and that I'm not the only one worrying, but other young leaders like me have the same worries. From there, we form a bond and build empathy, which gives strength and becomes
I believe
motivation.
providing that space where they think, I'm not the only one doing this, that person is working that hard too, plays a really important role. To the first generation Atomy pioneers and current members, please don't assume that young people give up too easily. If you continue to provide generous support and mentoring, I think young people will do well too. Now I'd like to take questions from our members. While running my Atomy business, I'm also a working mom doing childcare and housework. As I get more partners, I want to do well at work, and I want to pay a lot of attention to my child, but when I try to do both, I sometimes get tired. What should I do then?
Oh, I can totally relate to her. All working moms endure hardships because of their loved ones, don't they? It's not just for myself, but for the children and husband. I'm working hard at a Tommy for my family, but the results aren't immediate. That can cause conflict between work and family pressure. In situations like this, I think you should give your family a vision. Tell your husband when I've done a Tommy for 1 or 2 years, I'll give you something, like a car,
Like
maybe?
a car, maybe.
Yes, that's right. Or to the children later, when Mom has done this for 1 or 2 years, I'll give you something. If you give them a vision as you work, at some point, you can truly achieve things, right? Then later on, your family will understand what you truly care about as a mom and as a wife. What I can't forget is that my kids wanted to travel abroad. Ever since they were young, they would say, Mom, my classmate went on a plane trip. On the Sharon Rose master trip, I gave my kids an overseas trip as a real gift then. But it's all because of a Tommy, even though it's hard. But still, if this mindset of doing it for my family doesn't change, I believe you can all overcome this together. It's possible. Please give your family a vision.
I think you told a truly heartwarming story. Can I ask Imperial Master Bow Oak Park to briefly answer the same question?
When I was doing a Tommy, my kids were in middle and high school. When I ran a phone shop, I would be at the shop while it was open, and when it closed, I'd go home and be a mom again. But a Tommy has no boundary between work and life. So, after about a month of doing it, I couldn't pay attention to my kids. That's when I called them over, sat them down, and said, Mom has to do a Tommy now and may not be able to pay attention to you. So later, when I'm really successful, I want to do these things for you, but don't you have to sacrifice a little too? while I'm doing Atami, we should understand each other and make sacrifices together. I think that's what I told my kids.
That's a difference in style, but the core philosophy is the same. I think you're saying we need to trust and believe in each other, so it makes me reflect on my own family. Let's move right on to the next question that came in. I'm so grateful to see Imperial Master Bo Oak Park actively working, but I also miss Imperial Master Dongchul Park so much. You have any plans to visit overseas?
About a year after, Dad passed away, and from what I've seen of the members in Korea, I feel they're really feeling the void. So at that time, I thought about what I could do for the partners. After that, I communicated a lot with the partners in Korea and had many conversations. Now that I'm gradually expanding my activities, many people from overseas are now asking me to visit. There are many people asking me to come. Seeing this, I truly felt that Dad had been very active overseas until he passed away. Even overseas distributors, not just domestic ones, are feeling Dad's absence so much. This makes me think I need to work even harder. To my father's overseas partners, so please reach out.
Many members were greatly influenced by Imperial Master Dongchul Park, and many started Atomy and overcame hardships because of him. So I think there's a sense of longing for him. Perhaps if you visit, won't you more than fill that void? I definitely felt that here today. If many overseas partners wait, I'm sure Imperial Master Bo Oak Park will visit a lot. That brings us to the end of today's session. We wanted to close by sending a video letter to our families. Let's start with Royal Master Gumi Jin. To your beloved 2 daughters and husband. Could you send a video letter?
First of all, to my husband, who leads our family, your shoulders must have always felt heavy. I know you worried a lot, but you still believed in me and supported me. You've been my partner, both as a husband and a sponsor. Working together like this, I'm truly grateful. Thank you for doing the Atami business together with me. It has been a great support. I love my husband, and to your daughters, too. You cheered me on by my side, and I think I've come this far because you helped me. I will take responsibility for your future. I truly, truly love you.
Ah, good. Next, Imperial Master Bo Oak Park. Please look at the camera and send a video message to your family.
Mom is now ready for you to do anything you truly want to do, so you can truly pursue what you really want, your dreams. Unfold all your dreams, and it's not too late to do Atami later. I really wanted to say that. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sure many people watching now would like to send a similar video letter to their own children and husbands. How desperately they must feel. They carry that hope with them as they do Atomy. The true stars of this event can be you. I have no doubt that you will be. We've presented the successful leadership program Make Imperial show with Atomy's highest ranking leaders in the hope that it has provided you with useful and inspiring content. Until the day all global Atomy members become true leaders, Atomy headquarters will always do our best. Finally, I think it would be great if we all stood up and shouted Make Imperial together to finish. I'd appreciate it if everyone could please rise. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Make Imperial!
Make Imperial! Make Imperial! Thank you! Thank you!